I want to give a special shout out to all my patrons first. Thank you so much to my Bibliospren, Bibliohowlers, and my Bibliomancers. It means a lot to me that you give me your extra support for my passion and hobby. Hi everyone, Petrik here. So today's video will be about a top 5 very popular series that I want to read as soon as possible. But of course, because my TBR pile is immense, then it probably means that I will not be getting around to all of this, even though I really want to, but I don't think I will be getting around to all of this really soon. But the purpose of this video, just like the top 5 web novel series that I want to read as soon as I can, top 5 priority web novel series, the purpose of this video is to decide which of these 5 series that I get to read first. So you know my reading taste. You probably have an idea of what kind of books and what kind of stories that I love. But today's video, all 5 series listed on today's video, all of them are not science fiction or fantasy series. So yeah, today's video is about 5 very popular non-SFF series that I hope to read as soon as I can. And I want to know your thoughts regarding all these series. Which one do you think I should tackle first? And yeah, I do plan to include 1 or 2 of these series into my priority series to read next year in 2024. So yeah, let's start with the first one. And the first one is a classic. And some of you might be surprised about this because yeah, in fact, I haven't read anything in Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. Yeah, and there are 2 main reasons why I really want to read Sherlock Holmes. First, it's Sherlock Holmes. I absolutely love the TV show adaptation. You know, the one with Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock and also Martin Freeman as Watson. And well, to be honest, I also kind of like the movie adaptation with Robert Downey Jr. as Sherlock, but the one that I love most is the one with Benedict Cumberbatch as Sherlock Holmes. So yeah, I absolutely love that one, but somehow I still haven't read the books, any of the books or short stories. And the second reason is I want this in the giveaway. Yes, this is a premium letterpress edition, premium letterpress and limited edition of Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of Dozen Favorites, published by Amaranthine Books. And yeah, this is the slipcase, this is the spine. And yeah, let me just showcase this to you. And no, this video is not sponsored. I want this in a giveaway, but it is so beautiful and I want to show you this. And yeah, this is the inside of the slipcase. You can see the word elementary inside, printed inside the slipcase. And this is the book. This is the cover art with the pipe. And also this is the end paper. Ta-da! And it actually comes with this magnifying glass. Feels like a detective now, right? And yeah, also this one is basically a collection of short stories in Sherlock Holmes. Only 12, a dozen favorites. And you know, let me know whether I can actually read this. This is the front page. And of course, this comes with a soon binding and also acid-free paper, 100, probably 130 GSM paper. And yeah, it's gorgeous. And you know, inside this one, here is the list of short stories. The Speckled Band, The Red-Headed League, The Dancing Man, The Final Problem, A Scandal in Bohemia, The Empty House, The 5 Orange Pips, The Second Stain, The Devil's Foot, The Priory School, The Musgrave Ritual, and finally the Reigate Squires. Yeah, so that's the 12 short stories contained in this collection. And well, I'm curious because I haven't read anything in Sherlock Holmes. Do let me know whether it's possible for me to read this collection of short stories immediately without reading any other books in the Sherlock Holmes series or not. Or maybe I should just follow the reading order. And if you have a reading guide for Sherlock Holmes, because there are so many titles published by Arthur Conan Doyle, well, do tell me what are the reading order for Sherlock Holmes. And yeah, I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous edition. Amaranthine Books did such an excellent job with this one. And you can see here, every short story begins with this beautiful, beautiful interior artworks, which I think is supposed to be a puzzle, and also the details inside the short story itself. Like this one is the Adventures of the Speckled Band. And yeah, there are 12 short stories inside this, and that means there are 12 interior artworks. And also because this is letterpress edition, you can actually feel the indent of the paper here. And can you feel that? This is an ASMR. Can I launch my ASMR career now? But anyway, do tell me what you think about this, and do you love Sherlock Holmes? Because as I said, considering how much I love the TV show adaptation and also, well, this beautiful thing. I hope to read Sherlock Holmes as soon as I can, and do let me know what you think about Sherlock Holmes and whether I will end up living this one or not. And also I want to offer my gratitude to Collectible Book Vault and also Amaranthine Books for sending me, well, this beautiful copy, the Sherlock Holmes and the Adventure of Dozen Favorites. If you are a fan of special edition, make sure to check out Collectible Book Vault on Instagram and also check out Amaranthine Books. And moving on to the second very popular series that I want to read, this is Kingsbridge by Ken Follett. Starting with Pillars of the Earth, and then the second book is World Without End, and then A Column of Fire, and also the prequel novel, The Evening and the Morning, and finally the newest novel just released, The Armor of Light. And well, of course, Pillars of the Earth is the most popular and also, I think, the most highly praised one. I haven't read anything by Ken Follett yet, but for this series, especially Pillars of the Earth, I heard nothing but amazing things, and that's really quite amazing, especially considering that the first book, I think, is about building a cathedral or a church, and yeah, that's all I know about Pillars of the Earth. So do tell me, what do you love about this series if you have read it, and do you think I will end up living this series or not? Because based on what I heard, Kingsbridge is the type of series that I think will be very suitable for me. Not on the premise of building a church, but based on characterizations and also how engaging the narrative is. It is actually quite shocking to myself that I still haven't read Pillars of the Earth. I think it is one of the most popular and highly praised book of all time. Many readers, including science fiction and fantasy readers, mention that Kingsbridge is one of the best historical fiction series of all time. And yeah, I think that is a really high praise, and I love reading historical fiction. And yeah, do let me know what you think about this series. And speaking of popular, the next series that I'm going to mention is again a very popular series, and this is for the Millennium Trilogy by Stieg Larsson. This is the first trilogy in the entire Millennium series, because I believe that after the third book, I think there is a change in author, and from what I've heard, based on a lot of what people said, I should stop after reading the third book. So the first one is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and then The Girl Who Played with Fire, and finally The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. So yeah, based on what I heard, I should stop after The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. I have actually watched the movie adaptation for The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and I really enjoyed that one. Lisbeth Salander is a great main character, but I heard the books are even better. So if you have read the Millennium Trilogy, do let me know what you think about it, and also, well, do tell me whether I should really stop after The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest or not. I really don't want to continue if this already ends very satisfyingly, and well, the fourth book and beyond, well, they are mediocre, then there's no need, especially because there is a change in author already. And the fourth series I'm going to mention on today's video is again a very popular historical fiction series, and this is for the Wolf Hall Trilogy or the Thomas Cromwell Trilogy by Hilary Mantel. And Hilary Mantel, well, this series is incredibly popular, and also I think, if I'm not mistaken, Hilary Mantel actually won the Man Booker Prize for this trilogy. Yeah, beginning with The Wolf Hall, Bring Up the Bodies, and finally The Mirror and the Light. And yeah, I own all three books here, as you can see, and I really love the cover art. But honestly, I actually don't know too many details or maybe information about this trilogy. Some have told me that I should not start from this trilogy because I don't know too much about the characters, the real historical figures mentioned and discussed in this trilogy. I mean, I know about Henry VIII and also Anne Boleyn, but I don't actually know who Thomas Cromwell is. So if you have read the Wolf Hall Trilogy, I guess do tell me whether I should do some research first before reading this trilogy, or I should just dive into the Wolf Hall and then finish the trilogy. Let me know whether that's a good idea or a bad idea. I did got these three books quite cheap on a discount, so I don't feel at a loss if, let's say, I end up disliking them. But well, just like with every books, I am keeping my fingers crossed I will end up loving them, especially because, well, there are just so many praises for this one, and also the Folio Society edition of the Wolf Hall Trilogy, they are stunning, and if I end up loving this trilogy, well, maybe I might try to get myself a copy of the Folio Society edition of the Wolf Hall Trilogy. And finally, for the last series on today's video and the last series on this list, I don't actually know whether this is super popular or not, but this doesn't need any convincing actually, because this is for Matthew Corbett by Robert McCammon. Yeah, I don't know anything about Matthew Corbett. I don't know anything about this series. I think this is a murder mystery or historical fiction, but come on, it is Robert McCammon. Swan Song and Boy's Life are both some of my favorite books of all time. Love them both very much. I believe Swan Song is actually my favorite horror novel, and Boy's Life is in my top 5 favorite standalone novel of all time. So it is a 2 for 2 for Robert McCammon. And I think Matthew Corbett series is going to be about, I think, 8 books long, 8 books or 9 books long. But there is only 1 book remaining and the title is Leviathan. And well, I'm just waiting for the release date for Leviathan. Once there is a release date for Leviathan, then rest assured that I'm going to start reading Matthew Corbett immediately. There is no doubt about this. I think Robert McCammon is the type of author that I'm quite confident will become one of my favorite authors of all time, even though he doesn't write any fantasy books. But I just love Swan Song and also Boy's Life that much. And I look forward to reading Matthew Corbett as soon as I can. And if you have read Matthew Corbett, do let me know what you think about this series. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for me today. That's 5 very popular non-SFF series that I want to read as soon as I can. And well, I guess I kind of want to know your thoughts and your brief review on any of this series, and then I can make a judgment on which one I should prioritize first to be read in 2024. Because after making that top 5 web novel videos, my decision to read one of those 5 series next year have been finalized, and I hope the same goal can be achieved in today's video as well, because I have so many fantasy and sci-fi books that I want to read, and believe me, I do want to read more books outside of fantasy and sci-fi as well, but I have to prioritize because, well, at the end of the day, fantasy and sci-fi will always have my utmost priority. So that's it. That's the end of today's video. Again, do let me know what you think about these 5 series in the comment section down below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.